So, this is in brief the news about the recent Kerala oil spill disaster that has taken place. And the climate change, as we know, has been a topic of discussion all over the globe. And this is another such event that draws our attention towards the incidence of climate change. Recently, what has happened that a Liberian ship known as MSC Elsa 3, which was carrying hazardous materials such as the calcium carbide and rubber solution, sank off the coast of Kerala, and as a result of which all the hazardous materials have been released into the ocean waters along with the oil spills. Why does the oil spill happen? Because the ship that is carrying these materials has to be run on petroleum and petroleum products. So when the ship sinks, all the petroleum and petroleum products are also released into the water along with all the hazardous chemicals that it was carrying. So calcium carbide that it was carrying is a chemical that is highly reactive, and basically it is used in the ripening of the fruits. So artificial ripening of the fruits, very often we see when we purchase fruits, we see a kind of white layer on the fruits, and that's why we are told to wash the fruits before we eat. So that is because calcium carbide is a chemical that is used for the ripening of the fruits, and it is also used in the metal and metal industry. So this is a chemical that has also been banned for the artificial ripening of foods by the Food Safety and Standards Prohibition and Restriction on Sales Regulations 2011. So what happens when a ship sinks? It releases all these chemicals. So when the rubber solution was released, so it has reacted with the water and it has formed kind of plastic pellets that have been washed ashore on the Kerala coast, and leading to a lot of disaster, and the causes, the impacts of this are really disastrous. For example, if we see the marine life, what happens to the marine life if they swallow these plastic pellets? The fishes and the phytoplanktons and all these marine organisms, so they are at threat. Along with that, what happens when a layer of oil forms over the water? The sunlight is unable to penetrate inside the oceanic water, so the photic zone of the ocean is reduced, and the marine organisms and the marine plants, they are not able to perform the photosynthesis process because they are not able to get sunlight. Also, as a result of the oil film that is formed over the ocean waters, what happens is that the oxygen level of the water is reduced, so it impacts the marine biodiversity and the plants and animals that are in the ocean, the corals, the fishes, the phytoplanktons. So all those marine biodiversity is impacted, and not just environmentally, this has an impact economically also. If you see the the fishermen, they're not able to get the fishes because it is impacting the biodiversity. So the fishing industry is highly impacted, the tourism industry and the tourist activities and everything that happens of the on the coast of Kerala, all the beaches and all. So that is impacted. Also, the shipping industry is also impacted by this. So if we see the impacts of this are multifaceted, and it's not just that it is having impact only on one side. Along with that, we have some of the methodologies that are used that once the oil spill happens, what happens and how is that oil removed from the water. The first is the skimmers. Skimmers are kind of devices that is used to physically remove the oil from the water surface. Then we have the dispersants. These are chemicals that are used to break the oil components into very small droplets, and those small droplets can then be used by the or decomposed by the microorganisms, so for microbial degradation. Oil blooms, then we have, that is, they are kind of barriers that prevent the oil from spreading all over the ocean, so you have to restrict the spread of oil. Then we have bioremediation. These are some kind of oil eating microbes that can decompose and degrade these oil. And then we have in situ burning, that is, you burn the oil surface in isolated patches. So that was about the Kerala oil spill and the hazardous materials that it was carrying in brief. Along with that, I'll be sharing this the link of this article in the description box. So if you want to read the article, you can click on that link and you can read the article.